Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Proverbs with Paul in the afternoon. And what a peculiar weather. Hot and cold and sticky, and now a little bit cold. What's going on? Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 7. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are the snare for his soul. A fool's mouth is his ruin. When a fool speaks, he undermines the very value of his identity. But more than that, he digs himself a great big hole. And when we dig ourselves a hole, the best thing we can do is stop digging, stop speaking. When we've said something inappropriately, the best thing we can do is just stop ourselves and give ourselves a moment and then reconsider the things we've said. And it's perfectly acceptable to say, actually, I've said that, but I don't actually mean that. Because often we will say things that are inappropriate. And then when we think about it, we realize we don't mean that at all. And we hope and wish that we never said it. We have said it. And the concept is now we need to defend and protect what we've said. But actually, a wise person recognizes when they've said something that isn't appropriate, they've made a mistake, and they can quite justifiably say, actually, I've said something and I'm going to take charge of what I just said. And in fact, I'm going to retract it. And the capacity to retract a word is within your power. You have the right of speech as it relates to the things you've said. And if you said something inappropriate, then it's perfectly acceptable to say, actually, I retract that. So don't be driven by the fact that you've said something and you feel like somehow you have to run with that to the point whereby there's absolute disaster all around you because you didn't stop speaking and therefore you led yourself into a deep, deep, deep pit. Now, what God has given us is the ability to recognize when we speak inappropriately and stop, take charge of ourselves and retract what we've said. And then we will save ourselves a lot of grief and other people too, a lot of pain. Only if only the politicians and kings were humble enough to retract what they say. Nathan the prophet, he didn't mind going to David and saying to David, actually, David, what I've just told you isn't correct. God has given me a further instruction. And then Nathan retracted the things he said to David and brought David an even greater blessing than the one he originally understood to be from the Lord. So don't be afraid to undo the words you speak, because if you don't, then you'll find yourself digging yourself a big hole. And the byproduct of digging yourself a big hole is that your soul will be ensnared. And the identity of your soul is your mind, emotions, and will, and you will be setting yourself up. So be wise, even when you're foolish. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow.